Thank you, Chairwoman Fox and Ranking Member Scott. I appreciate you giving us, those of us who are not on the Education and Workforce Committee, an opportunity to present our priorities. I also want to thank you for calling a hearing next week to examine a topic that I'd like to discuss today: the outburst of anti-Semitism that has gripped college campuses in the wake of the October 7th attack on Israel. Madam Chair, in the nearly 2 months since October 7th, we as House members have met with the families of hostages and victims. We've borne witness to the utter inhumanity inflicted by Hamas terrorists on innocent men, women, children, and babies. We've seen the images and video footage that will forever haunt us. But closer to home, we've also heard disturbing accounts from Jewish and Israeli college students and faculty who have faced threats, intimidation, vandalism, and even physical violence. They say they don't feel comfortable wearing symbols of their faith. Hillel houses are hiring extra security. Such a climate of fear and intimidation on our campuses is unacceptable. It's baffling that so many of these institutions who police the most micro of microaggressions seem to be meeting this actual wave of anti-Semitism, this actual wave of aggression, with nothing more than a yawn. They'll throw the book at someone who uses the wrong pronouns. They'll spend time compiling a 13-page handbook of banned words, including American, immigrant, and grandfather. Yet eliminationist chants of, quote, "from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," and, quote, "globalize the Intifada," ring out among groups marching across the Quad. Signs are raised that show a Star of David in a trash can with the caption that reads, quote, "keep the world clean." A sign at a recent protest at Reed College even read, quote, "Hitler would be proud." Madam Chair, what is going on these campuses? Some university leaders have stepped up with forceful words and actions, and they should be commended, but too many have not. As this committee knows well, most colleges and universities these days seem to have cadaverous offices for diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. I was curious to know what exactly is happening with the I in DEI in the wake of October 7th. And that's why on November 6th, I sent a letter to the top DEI officials at 110 colleges and universities asking some simple questions. Does the DEI office maintain an official written definition of anti-Semitism? Does it consider things such as slogans and signs that I described earlier to be anti-Semitic? Does it have any employees dedicated to educating or raising awareness about anti-Semitism, handling the allegations of anti-Semitism, and or promoting inclusion of Israeli and Jewish students and faculty? And what actions have been taken and what resources provided since October 7th to promote an environment of inclusion for Jewish and Israeli faculty and students? These 110 schools were not chosen at random. They were chosen because of at least one verified incident that could be considered anti-Semitic. It could have been chants or signs. It could have been something worse, like Jewish students being forced to barricade themselves for safety. It could have been statements from Jewish and Israeli students and faculty expressing unease with their campus environment. Some campuses have obviously been worse than others, but it's sadly proved easy to find at least one example in all 110. In fact, I'm taking this opportunity to announce that my office today will be sending an additional 16 letters to DEI officials. Let me be clear, one incident, one action by a few students does not damn a whole university, but it also doesn't make any of these questions less valid. If a DEI office is proud of its response and feels that it's got a good story to tell, I want to know. These letters represent an opportunity to confront or confirm the skepticism that many have about DEI offices. Madam Chair, it's become clear that October 7th revealed an anti-Semitic rot in the floorboards of our institutions of higher education. A recent Anti-Defamation League survey found that only 38.6% of students feel very or extremely comfortable on campuses in the wake of October 7th. That's compared with 63.7% before October 7th. I applaud your efforts to examine this important topic, and I hope we can work together moving forward to ensure that anti-Semitism has no place on our college campuses. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I yield back.